meeting room, I guess. So,
Parth, I'll start.
have we admitted
please.
all the people in the waiting room? I guess. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Harshit.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Chalo.
Yeah. Hi guys. So welcome to the open house for management training today. So we have Purva, Omkar, Nikunj, and Harshit with us. Can you guys introduce yourself? Starting with Purva.
Hi all. I am Purva Batra. I have cleared my exams in November 20 attempt with a rank of 37, and I'm currently working with Colgate under management training profile. They basically have a program called LEAP, in which they hire management trainees. I'm working with them right now, and it's been 3 months. I've started working here. So yeah, hope to have great insights here.
Thank you for joining us, Purva. Going on to Nikunj. Nikunj is working with Vedanta Limited as a management trainee. So over to you, Nikunj.
Hello guys, my name is Nikunj Prajapati. I have cleared my CA exams in November 20 attempt. As Harshini said, I am working in Vedanta as a management trainee in FP&A profile, and currently I am in Odisha. So yeah, enjoying the weather and climate over here, and so yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you, Nikunj. Next is Harshit. So Harshit is working as a management trainee in Vodafone in the FP&A vertical. So over to you, Harshit.
Yeah, thanks, Varshini. So my name is Harshit Shah. I cleared my chartered accountancy in May 2019 with an All India rank 36. Post which I've been working with Vodafone. It's been almost 2 years. I joined in as a management trainee, and currently I'm undergoing their FP&A stint, which is financial planning and analysis in their enterprise vertical.
Thank you, Harshit. Next is Omkar, who's working as the management trainee in IIFL Finance. Over to you, Omkar.
Yeah, hi guys, this is Omkar. So I have cleared my CA exams in November 2020 and started working in IIFL Finance, that is an NBFC, in the month of March and April this year, 2021. So I've been working in the mid-office treasury function as a management trainee there. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Omkar. So today they've joined us to give us insights on what the management trainee role is about. What exactly do they do on a day-to-day basis, working hours, how to get in, presentation, a lot of facts, which would be very enriching for each of us who've joined in today. So let's start off with Purva. So Purva, can you tell us about your experience of how you got in and what is the job that you do?
Sure. To start with, I got this opportunity from ICA campus itself. So Colgate had come to the campus for the first time during our attempt, and had come with a single vacancy. So all other people who are along with me are all MBAs. So they are undergoing the same program as me. The only difference is my is more finance inclined. First thing is that. Second is to start with what I am working on, the entire plan, how it goes is in the first entire year, I will be going through various stints for approximately 2 to 3 months in areas of including, plant operations and marketing and finance and various other departments. So they plan our stints in a way such that we are able to understand the entire organization in not completely understand, but to a certain extent, we understand how the entire processes function here. So after the completion of first year, based on our, choices and based on what they think, we come to an agreement and specific roles are provided here. I think that's that. Is there anything more you need to know?
Thank you, Purva. Thank you so much. Moving on to Nikunj. So Nikunj, so what is it that you do on a daily basis? How does work go on for you?
So I have also joined Vedanta, and I got this opportunity through ICI campus. And then I got this location of Odisha. It is basically an alumina refinery wherein we produce alumina. So I am currently engaged in FP&A profile. So wherein on daily basis I have to track cost and report it to the management. Along with that, on the day end basis or maybe month end basis, we have to show the visibility of where our cost is going, and accordingly come up with the plans that how we can mitigate the losses or mitigate the cost hike. So yeah, this is basically what I do. Also, I've also been given the responsibility of tracking the fixed cost of our whole unit. So wherein I'm given the responsibility of tracking all the departments fixed cost, and accordingly ask them that accordingly track and report it to the management. So yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you so much, Nikunj. Moving on to Harshit.
Yeah, Vashini. So, before I move on to what do I do specifically in my organization, I would want to address the people who have joined, and at least I'm sure these guys are aware enough. But still, I would want to give a brief about what management trainee program or roles are all about, and my understanding of why there is a need for management trainees. Why do company hire management trainees? So if you see the whole intention behind management trainees lie in the name itself, management. So companies usually want to groom people, hire them at the lowest level and put them at the highest level in a span of say 10 years, 15 years. So if you see, usually it is difficult to recruit people at the CFO, CEO, or maybe at the MD level and all of those levels, at the topmost levels of management, especially for chartered accountants. However, with due time, people have realized that CAs do have potential to be in the top management. But it is sort of difficult to recruit them from some other organization or through any cross-functional recruits and all of that. So that is why what they do is they go to various campuses, say be it any of the IIMs or even for CAs, they hire management trainees, they hire people with the role of management trainees under their flagship programs, which is the leadership programs. What they'll do is they'll groom you into different verticals within the organization. They'll give you experience of sales, they'll give you experience of marketing, they'll give you experience of business, they'll give you experience of finance. And after that, it varies from organization to organization. The period is usually between say 18 to 24 months or 12 months, depending on the organization. Once you have been rotated through all the verticals, you will be given a particular role for a period of another 24 months. And most organizations, even after that fixed period of 24 months, they'll keep rotating you into different verticals so that you have an exposure into various verticals of the organization, which eventually will help you to make great decisions when you reach the top management. A CFO cannot just be a person who has done financial planning and analysis. A CFO cannot be a person who has done only audit. A CFO cannot be a person who has done only financial reporting. He has to know each and everything in the organization. So this is the intention with which people hire management trainees. So that is when Purva said that she'll have stint across different verticals, say sales or marketing, and majorly into finance. So that is the career path which companies provide when you join as a management trainee. Even with Nikunj and even with Omkar, even with me, that would be the case. So this is the whole intention and purpose behind having a management trainee role in each organization. So if I give my example, what I do is I joined as a management trainee. I had 2 months of sales stint, enterprise business stint, which is the B2B stint within the telecom sector. Then we have a design where we'll move into various functions of finance itself, be it financial planning analysis, be it financial reporting, or be it treasury, be it investor relations. So these are various functions within finance, within which we'll be rotated over a period of our tenure in the organization. And on a daily basis, I guess this was more important for them to understand. We'll move on to what happens on a day-to-day basis in our roles, because each one would be doing different things. So for example, Nikunj is also into the FP&A vertical, but he is handling the cost part of it. I am into the FP&A vertical, but I am majorly handling the revenue side of it, along with the overall analysis of the P&L, but majorly revenue forecasting, budgeting, and all of that. So it depends on organization to organization. However, the broad role would be within core finance, along with exposure in different areas.
Thank you so much, Harshit. It was very, very insightful on, the importance of management trainees and, how much of a learning experience it could be for CA
Absolutely.
freshers, especially who have no experience to industry as such. Moving on to Omkar, so you can share your experiences.
Yeah, so IIFL Finance had come for the campus placements, and they hired around 8 to 9 people for different roles. So some were put into financial, and it's an NBFC, non-banking financial company. So some were put into financial reporting, some were put into investor relations, some were put into the SecuDA, securitization and direct assignment team, and I was put into the treasury mid office team. So just to have a very brief introduction of what an NBFC does. The main part of NBFC is that it basically lends, right? So for lending, it should have funds. Now, the main problem of NBFC is it cannot have saving and current account like a bank does. So how does it get funds? It gets funds via bonds, issue of non-convertible debentures, via securitizing its loan book, and via taking loans like term loans, ODCC from banks. So that's the main sources of funds for an NBFC in order to lend to different categories of people. Now, what my role is on a monthly basis, one is I coordinate with the credit rating agency. See, if an NBFC has to get fund, it has to issue bonds, it has to issue NCDs. Now, these bonds and NCDs have to be rated by different credit rating agencies so that the investor confidence goes up and they invest in these bonds, right? So my sort of month goes in coordinating with the credit rating agencies like ICRA, Fitch, Moody's, etc., providing them with different types of data that they require, and basically having the senior management then discusses with them on a monthly or a quarterly basis. Apart from that, I prepare different reports for the management on a monthly basis. Basically, it's more on the liquidity report. So whether we have enough liquidity, whether we have enough short-term assets to pay off the short-term borrowings, how much percentage is funded by the long-term assets. That is basically known as ALCO. That is the Asset Liability Committee. That is there in the NBFC. So I have to prepare reports for that on a monthly basis and coordinating with credit rating agencies. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Omkar. I think it gave us a new perspective with respect to the financial institutions and what management trainees do there as well. So any other insights that any of the speakers would like to give?
So just to start with, management training as a role will be very different in every organization. You will have different set of responsibility, and the format with which they go will be different. For example, in case of Omkar, he has been given specific responsibilities to deal with, but some organization like mine, that is Colgate, we haven't been given specific responsibility as a part of our routine job. We have been given specific projects which we need to work on individual basis with the help of the existing systems, and it's basically a problem solving approach what they take for us to explore and the organization and to further develop our abilities to be better leaders ahead. So yeah, that's what I want to add.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, agree. So basically, it just gives you like an overall experience on how the industry functions, and CA freshers get the exposure to try out various stints and then decide what basically works the best for them. So getting back to how do CA freshers get into this? So what are the various entry opportunities that we have in here? Any of you can take that.
So yeah, a lot of us, I think, have been recruited directly through campus placements that the ICAI only did. And of course, there are, you can approach via LinkedIn and other, job portals like Naukri, etc. for such roles.
I would also like to add, there are other two job portals. One is Phenom Placements and one is Fast Careers. So yeah, they both also provide opportunities such as management training.
Also, to just to add to it, the LinkedIn is always a good option. I have seen people who've got management trainee roles through LinkedIn. So keep on pinging the HRs. Sometimes they will respond, sometimes they might not respond. You have to always keep on trying your luck so that, if there's an opportunity, you go and just grab it. So don't lose hope on LinkedIn.
Right. And so how are your working hours? How is the, is there travel involved and, all of that?
So for me to start with, the work I'm right now at a plant. This is my first stint at a plant of Colgate. So the working hours are fixed because there is no other transportation. The plant is 1 hour away from all of our, locations. So additionally, it is completely on my flexibility. My entire aim is to complete a project in a period of 2.5 months. Howsoever I do it, and the project, to be honest, is not so difficult, more from an effort perspective, but it's more of finding the right solution, which it's like a breakthrough. Agar tum 4 दिन सोचो नहीं मिलेगा, probably 5th day you'll get it. So the working hours are not a problem. It's more like how you approach your work that will decide how long you have to work. And it's always preferable to go for smart work to reduce your working hours. So that way.
The working hours will, I believe, depend on organization to organization, and I mean, of course, your team, your managers, what sort of culture the organization has. So we cannot generalize the working hours for a management trainee role per se. Even within your various stints as management trainees, your working hours might change. If you are into the sales vertical, which you have no experience of, you might have, I mean, rough working hours. You will have to go out into the field and you'll have to be with the sales team and all of that. So that might be a different experience. So while you are in the finance related stints, you might have fixed working hours while you are in the office. So I mean, it will differ from stint to stint, organization to organization, and team to team. However, one thing which I've experienced is that usually the culture in the industry, by industry I mean, say any particular sector apart from the investment banks, the big fours, industries do have a good working culture per se for the companies which I know. So there won't be extended working hours. However, I mean, as I said, it will depend on your team. But if we have to give a generalized answer in comparison to some of the other roles, say an audit, a tax, which are seasonal sort of roles, you will have extreme working hours, investment banking, and all of that. Whereas here you will have a relaxed sort of working hours. And another thing which I would like to, I mean, clarify here, when we mean management trainees, we are not trainees per se. For the stints which we are doing, we'll be recruited as payroll employees itself. There will be no probation. We are not trainees. It is a leadership program under which we are recruited. So there is a different sort of a management trainee program where you will be recruited on probation for initial 1-2 years, where they'll judge you, they'll monitor you, and then basis your experience and performance, they'll confirm your employment. So this is not that management trainee role which we are talking about.
So
Yeah,
just to add, so yet again, you need to clarify that from your organization, because
absolutely.
mine is a probation based.
Probationary.
Yeah,
Huh.
same. It's
So
probation for me too. Yeah.
Same.
So that
Same.
that is again subject. You have to check first if matlab 1 year you are working very chill ki ab tumko job mil gaya, and eventually you realize that no, this was your evaluation phase. So just be sure where you are what you are getting into.
Make sure that it is not a management trainee role which has a probation period. If there is a probation period, and make sure you are aware of it so that you can perform accordingly.
Fair enough.
So yeah, for me, it will be like if I have to provide reports to the management on a monthly basis for the first 10-15 days, it's like a lot of work. So the working hours are a bit overstayed in the initial part of the month or the quarter. But then as the month goes by and after 20th of the month, the work is pretty chill. So yeah, it depends on the industry, as Harshit and Purva said. and what role you are into.
Right. Any other points that you speakers would want to add on before we go on to the open session where we would take up questions of the participants?
Sure. Just to add in terms of how you should approach the interview and everything, I would suggest that they are not looking for a person who is technically very strong. It's not like you shouldn't know knowledge. You should be aware of things, but more what they're looking for is your attitude and your perspective towards how you work and your life. if if they see you as a person who is optimistic, who looks forward to work, we will be more inclined to hire you. And in addition, if you know things about how their company is going or what their company focuses on, then it's those are brownie points. So just make sure you've prepared enough to understand what the company actually is right now and what it is looking forward to, and present your answers accordingly.
Got it. And how does the interview process work? Any specific skills or anything that a CA fresher will have to prepare to better their chances of getting in as a management trainee? Anyone can take that up. Nikunj?
So if I talk about my interview process, so basically Vedanta is conducting interview process in two parts. First is GD and then personal interview directly. There's no aptitude test or nothing like that. So obviously in GD, you need to have all the skills of group discussions. You need to know all the plus points, like whatever the topics they have given you. You need to know how to like speak up in the group, not to just stop or anybody in between, and just keep your point in such a manner that nobody get offensive like that. And in this way, you have to complete your GD. And in personal interviews, as Purva said, I was hardly asked one or two technical questions. And other than that, they were just asking me, like, tell me about your strength, tell me about your weaknesses. And then, like, whatever the weaknesses you are saying, then they'll cross question you about it. Like, tell me an instance where you have seen this weakness and how you came up with an solution for it. Or tell me your instance of a strength and what did you do, like in that manner. They'll do. Also, they'll ask you about your favorite subject, and then accordingly they'll cross question you, like, tell me that like in this way they'll come up with an sort of good questions, and in this manner they'll take your personal interview. So yeah, that's how my interview process went.
Also, in the campus placement, what I've seen is for me and my friends, a lot of emphasis is placed on what work have you done in articleship. I mean, whatever type of work have you done, that's okay, but you should be very thorough with it. There, you please don't bluff about ye bhi kiya, wo bhi kiya, jo bhi kiya hai. Just be thorough with it, and that will be all fine.
Okay, just to add what all you need to prepare for, this is not comprehensive, but this is what I've understood through the period. First is go through the annual report, not the entire annual report. Understand from people around and your seniors that what specific, areas to read, the MD's communication, the subsequent, information about the company. Go through that first. Second is, since COVID is going on, COVID impact to the organization, COVID impact to the industry, and how it has impacted the industry and how much it has recovered. These are, how in general your organization is affected by the environment around. If your interviews are around budget, so how has budget impacted the industry and to the organization? And be prepared for the general questions. Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to join this organization? These are very basic questions and generally taken for granted, but these are the questions which decide your go or no. So be precise in the question where you have to tell about yourself. Do communicate what do you want from the organization also. This is what gives an impact, that not only you want to please them, but you're also looking for your growth. So these are small things, but these are aspects what they also look into.
Thank you for all the insights. So I think to summarize, I think a management trainee role is very subjective. So it depends upon the industry, depends upon the roles that you get. But at the end of the day, it's a great learning experience because you have stints across various departments, prepares you for future leadership goals, and just makes you a complete person, I guess. So opening up for the questions, the first question comes from Ayushi. So she asks regarding the campus placement. So this is what I infer from her message. So will it depend upon the location or the rank holders in order to get into a management training position in the industry? Omkar, can you take that up?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, so the question, I think this is what I infer. So she's asking whether in order to get into a management trainee role in campus placement, would it be specific to any particular location, or is it open only for rank holders?
No, so I have cleared CA in my third attempt basically, and I am a management trainee today. So definitely, it's not that it's open only for rank holders. See, there are companies who specifically recruit only rank holders and first attempt. Let's leave those companies out. Other than those companies, there are companies like where I work, right? IIFL Finance, where people from, in fact, every one of us has not cleared in the first attempt. I mean, hardly there is someone who has cleared it in the first attempt. So the attempts does not matter for some companies. For some companies, it does. Like, let's say, I should not name some company, but let's say I've seen maybe Reliance recruits only, first attempt or only rank holder. So yeah.
Understood. Next is so also a follow-up question on that. So does the location keep changing with respect to the different stints that you have as a management trainee?
So basically, that will depend on the
Harshit,
company.
can you?
I think Nikunj is working in Odisha, right? So
Yes.
and
So
Yeah.
basically,
So Nikunj?
yeah, like if I talk about Vedanta, basically when we are hired as a management trainee, they give us one location wherein we explore many profiles. So when I talk about Lanjigad Alumina Refinery, there are so many profiles. One is FTN, one is FR, one is commodity controller, wherein we have to plan all the commodities which are required for producing the alumina. So in this way, we have to explore all these profiles in a year, 2 years maybe, 2.5 years, and after which there are IJPs in the group, and wherein we can apply for those IJPs, and if our manager approves, we can go to the other company in the group. So yeah, basically, if you believe that you have learned all the opportunities and you have learned everything in your role, so you can take a transfer to other company or other location. That's what is in my case. Maybe differing from company to company.
Usually there are
I
cases
think-
जहाँ पे you have to change locations. So usually if you are saying in an FMCG, then they would be having their manufacturing plants. As Purva mentioned, she's in Ahmedabad currently at their plant. For me, I had my circle office in Calcutta. So I had initial stints at Calcutta, whereas I'm based out of Bombay, and I had given my interview from Bangalore. So yes, it will depend on organization to organization whether you will have to switch cities and move constantly. So it is specific to the company, I believe.
Also, to add, even after you've been given your specific roles, every 2 to 3 years, they make sure that you move. The point you start getting comfortable with your role is the point they move you to another role and another location. So they make sure you don't get too comfortable to, lose your grip. So that's the reason they keep on changing your locations and for you to get a wholesome idea of the company.
Okay, understood. Next question comes from Chetan. I have done my articleship in audit. Can they take my interview on my tax knowledge even after seeing my articleship experience? Harshit, can you take that up?
What I infer from the question is he wants to apply for a tax role, but he has done his articleship in audit. So basis his knowledge he has gained in tax, can he appear for the interview and can he be shortlisted? Is that the question? If that is the question, then yes.
I'm not sure. Chetan, can you can you come on?
He's saying no,
Can you
no.
clarify on your question?
No, no, okay. You can unmute yourself and specify your
He
question.
can't. He's not a host. Varshini, can you please unmute him?
Hello.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Harshit.
unmute.
I was saying that I have done my articleship in audit only, but I was asking whether they can take a stress interview kind of thing, whether they ask me question on tax knowledge.
Acha, yeah, that depends on the interviewer. I mean, usually for a fresher, the interview revolves around your experience and what you have mentioned in your CV. So I believe there are less chances that they'll test you on your tax knowledge. But I mean, it depends. If the interviewer wants to mess up with you, he might just throw a random question about tax and test if you are so at that point of time, what he would want to test is not your technical skill about that subject. What you would want to test is if you are put in a stressful situation, if you are put in a situation for which you don't know anything, how do you tackle that situation? So at that point of time, you might give a wrong answer, but if you give the correct approach, that might make up for the wrong answer and your lack of knowledge in tax.
Also, I have faced this situation. So I was getting interviewed for an insurance company, and I know prior tax experience of working in an insurance company. But still, they asked me. See, then you need to go through the budgets of that relevant industry. Last 2 to 3 budgets, वो industry में क्या tax law में change हुआ है, उतना अगर कर लोगे, I think that should be good enough.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, moving on to the next question. I think Chetan also had a second question with respect to the exit opportunities. Purva, can you elaborate on that? Okay, I think she is not in the meeting. Nikunj, can you take that up?
So yeah, like there is no such barrier for exit. If you want to resign, like in case of my company, we have been given like 6 months training and then 6 months probation, after which will be confirmed. But they have given like in 6 months in the beginning 6 months we have been given 1 month notice period and then we can resign. But however, if we are confirmed, then after which if you want to resign, and then it is hardly a 2 month notice period after which we can resign. So yeah, this is exit opportunity.
Got it. Got it. Harshit, so if a particular person works in a particular industry, does it mean that they would have to continue in that particular industry, or is it okay for them to change as an exit opportunity?
No, I feel you should change industries over a period of time, but you should not prematurely change industries because every industry has a lot to take in. For example, if I say telecom is an industry in which I'm currently working. So I guess most of you would be aware it is a dynamic sector, ever-changing sector. Daily basis पे कुछ ना कुछ होते रहता है. So even after spending 1.5, almost 18, 19 months, 1.5 years in the organization, I feel I'm yet to cope up with the sector as a whole. I'm yet to, seep in ki telecom mein hota kya hai. So till the time I feel I'm still learning new things every day by being in the sector and the company in which I am, you can continue to be in the sector and then you can opt for switching. Another thing, talking about the exit opportunities, it will be a bit difficult, but it will not be impossible switching sectors or industries. So from telecom to FMCG to maybe a manufacturing or a service-based industry or an e-commerce industry. I don't think it would be that difficult because finance-based roles do need a business understanding, but majorly, industries do prefer ki people from other industries come into our organization so that they bring a different viewpoint altogether. ये industry में काम ऐसे होता है, so are there any things which we can incorporate in our industry per se? So yeah.
So I just want to add on to this. Let's say if you have done extremely specific role, let's say, for the banks, you have filed only RBI returns because for a bank, a lot of RBI returns need to be filed. So you are into that role. Now, if you perform that role for like, let's say 3 to 4 years, then of course the exit opportunities get limited.
Okay. I think Aryan would want to ask some more questions regarding this. I'm just unmuting him. Aryan, you can go ahead.
Thank you. I'll just take it for analyst. What I wanted to, am I audible?
It's not clear, Aryan.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah, better now. Yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to know was, so generally what is a perception which I've heard from the people is, suppose if I'm in an industry and I'm there for a couple of years, then moving to another industry, since I have been a management trainee, I think the pay would be generally higher than a general finance accounting role, right? Now, if I make a shift, I would not obviously get a management trainee role there, then would the other
Okay, I think we lost Aryan there. So moving on to the next question. Should one take up a finance management trainee role since this is really restricted to the finance domain?
So just to start with, I think when we decided to take up chartered accountancy, our roles were, supposed to be inclined a little towards finance. And being a finance management trainee role, it is, I think, one of the broadest role what you can have, which helps you understand the entire organization. So I don't think that will actually restrict your scope. But yes, if you get an opportunity to go for a general management trainee role, which are, given to MBAs, you should always go up for that. But yes, it does not restrict.
Yeah, can I add, Purva, something to what you just said?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, so we heard Harshit say that he looks after the revenue segment in FP&A. We heard Nikun say that he looks after the cost segment. So when you look at these guys, these are big businesses. Location में भी एक P&L का segment, उसमें भी FP&A function. So when you look at this, FP&A is also a part of finance team only. So there is treasury, there is a lot of divisions and bifurcations in finance. And there also we have people looking at particular segments. In companies, you have people who look only after the top line, who look at a particular subset of costs. There are industrial controllers, cost controllers. So the finance domain is very wide as compared to what we perceive.
That's it.
Got it. Okay.
Good point.
Okay. Next question is about from Pratiksha. I think this has been answered. So if anybody else wants to add on something, we can add. I've noticed most of the management trainees are either rankers or have cleared in first attempt. Is it possible for a CA who has cleared in second or subsequent attempt to get into such roles? So
We
as
have
far as I've
Omkar here.
understood, I think there is no such. Yeah, Harshit, yeah. Then.
I was just saying, Omkar, we have Omkar on the panel here who is cleared after multiple
Exactly. I have
attempts.
cleared in 3 attempts and still have been in the same role.
You've
Live
got
example.
a
Yeah.
great example, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that answers your question. Next is from Urvi. When you change your company within 6 months, how to approach such questions in other interviews?
I think the best way is to be honest.
I was just going to say that. So because these people who are taking your interviews are very experienced people. They know why
Absolutely.
you would have shifted and why, and they would definitely know if you're bluffing. And second thing is they do, have a reference check from the past company as to why did you happen to leave. So in that case, if they understand there's a disbalance, you might lose on to an opportunity. So be honest, be polite, but be honest. You can't just go and put out your words ki wo log galat the, unne aise kiya. You have to be polite and explain your part of the story.
Also, while exiting, don't have bad relations with your employer. Just be.
Fair enough.
Correct. So basically, be as honest as you can in interviews. Probably that betters your chance of getting in even after 6 months. Moving on, next is from Ayush. What I understood is that if we are recruited, then we will be rotated through different stints for a year. Now, if I want to pursue my MBA, for which exam is scheduled in November 22, then how should I approach? Because after 1 year training, I'll have to go for MBA. Can someone take that up? Harshit?
I mean, I don't think it would anyway impact you joining a particular organization or not. it will be good that you have experience for that one particular year into different stints. So post that, if you go and pursue your MBA, there will be something on your CV which is not related to finance, because while you are at your MBA school, you will have companies coming up for roles other than finance. So for example, if you have joined as a management trainee, your initial 2 stints were in say sales and marketing. So with that experience, if you go for your MBA after completing all your other stints in a span of 1 year in November 22, and you have summer internships and other placement offers from B school, from companies which are offering marketing roles, advertising roles, or all sorts of roles, you can still pitch in for those roles because you have an experience in, I mean, even though a short experience, but still you have an experience. So I guess it is a good opportunity anyway if you want to join as a management trainee and then pursue your MBA. That is my personal point of view.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be better place in India. A lot of people directly do MBA after graduation, having no work ex. So you'll be definitely better place than those people.
So additionally, those MBA colleges, give you additional points if you have a work ex. So your probability to get into a better college increases. And I think, yeah, what Harshit says definitely makes sense. But make sure at the time of interview, you just don't go and say कि मैं सिर्फ 6 महीने के लिए आया हूँ and मुझे इसके बाद MBA करने जाना है. That won't make sense, and they are not going to recruit you for long term.
You don't have to be honest about this. You
All right. Any other questions regarding management training profile? Because I think all the questions in, okay. The next question is from Aditya. Does the exit opportunity include management consultancy? Purva, can you take that up?
Management consultancy, to what I understand, is basically yet again a problem-solving approach. So, if it has not been too many years for you to get into the core of this industry, you can always shift to management consultancy. That shouldn't be a problem.
Just to give a flip
alright,
side to what Purva said, Varshini, what this is my personal opinion. Obviously, I do not have fact-based examples or people whom I know to support this fact. But what I feel is, from the people I know who are working into management consultancy as a fresher, as a freshly qualified CA, eventually after a period of 2 to 3 years, after working into various industries, they do have to specialize in one particular industry. And then they have to cater to various companies pertaining to that industry and solve their problems. So if you are coming from a background of a management trainee who has already worked in a particular industry, has specific expertise in that particular industry, I believe, yes, there are chances that at a higher level, the management consulting firms, if you are qualified enough, if you do ace the interview, might recruit you at that level where they are looking for people in a specific industry. Because anyway, as a fresher, you might get opportunity to work into different industries in a management consulting firm. But eventually, as you go up the ladder, even if you know somebody from a management consulting firm who is a director or people at that level, they would be specifically catering to a particular industry. So by that means you are an industry expert because आपने तो industry में रह के काम किया है for 3 years or 4 years and आपने सारे domains देखे हुए हैं वो industry के. So if you go to a management consulting firm and you portray that you are able to understand that industry in and out and you are able to solve the problem, then yes, you do have a chance to get into management consulting.
Fair enough. But it has to go beyond, dig deep into the expertise area for them to hire you ahead in ladder. But yeah, that can happen. That is always a
might be a possibility. Yes.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so maybe just to confirm on that, maybe to reiterate the point. So basically, if you are in a management trainee role, your chances of getting into management consulting is better, provided there are opportunities in that particular sector. Am I right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say just because you're a management trainee, your probabilities are higher. Just because you have been a management trainee, provided your organization has offered you experience into various domains of that industry, you know in and out of that particular industry, the management consulting firm might be inclined towards recruiting you because they want an industry specific person in their team.
So basically, that's very situational, whether what you are looking for and what they are looking for, fit in well. Then in that case, yet again, anytime you want to switch from any industry or any specific domain to another, there will be these, hiccups which you will have to deal with.
Right.
All right, yeah. Now I think it's clear. Next is from Maitri. Is it important that the person has to be a very good leader for this role? Omkar, can you take that up?
I don't think so. You have to be a very good leader because you will learn in this role how to sort of communicate with different departments on a daily basis and then sort of get the work done. So you groom yourself in the first year of management trainee role. So not a prerequisite, but you will learn along the way as you go through.
Correctly said, Omkar. So the point, exactly purpose of this training is to train you to become a leader and
Yeah.
not perceive you to be a leader.
Mhm.
So they look into certain set of traits, something like, are you able to handle pressure, or are you able to make decisions while things are in pressure? These are the basic traits what they look for, and they eventually train you to become a better manager, a better leader, and someone who can delegate things well. So that's what they train you for, and eventually you will learn. So that's definitely not a mandate for you.
One of the major traits, as Purva mentioned, they won't look for a leader, but they look for traits which a leader should ideally possess. One of them, I feel, in my opinion, the most important one is your communication skill. Because as a leader, you'll be communicating with different sets of people. So in an interview, they will intangibly judge you by your answers on your communication skills. So that is something which is really important.
So Harshit rightly highlighted not just communication skill for this specific role, any kind of soft skill is very
Yeah.
important.
Mhm.
Your personality, your presentation, the way you communicate, the way you convince people, the way you interact with everyone around, the way you indulge into any kind of audience or people around you. All of these are the basic traits which, they look for or eventually you develop.
Yeah, I think that was very, very detailed answer for leadership quality. Moving on, next question is from Ayush. If they ask me whether I want to do any further studies, should I mention it or not? As many a times, employers themselves support you for it. Nikunj, can you take that up?
Yeah, if I give my personal opinion, if if an interviewer asks you this question, so you should say that as of now I'm not planning to study for further studies, but in case if in future I want to, I'll definitely approach and ask and intimate you about it.
So what I feel is if the organization already has such policies, then after joining, you can develop a good relation with your employer. And then if you have a good relation, you can then speak to your employer, right? Not at the time of interview, maybe. This is my personal
Also
opinion.
just prepare yourself of the fact if they ask you, okay, why didn't you pursue it right now? Why do you want to take a job here and then plan whether you want to pursue or not? Just be prepared for these questions also. Once once you say that I might get into it, so why not now? Why are you wasting our time? So they will be blunt about these things, but you have to be prepared.
Yeah, very well put. Next is from Ritant Gabrani. Would management trainee be a better option over management consultancy if you're targeting MBA from IIM at a later stage, say after 2 to 3 years? Omkar, can you take that up?
No, I have no experience of management consultancy. I think somebody else should take this up.
Anyone else on this?
For CAs, I feel the most demanded job after a B school is management consulting. So usually the perception is that it is difficult for a CA to get directly into management consulting, so they take an MBA route. Because post MBA you can get a management consulting role. So if your eventual target is to get into management consulting, and if you are getting a role, I mean, before doing your MBA itself, then nothing like it. But if you want to do MBA for different reasons and not just to get into management consulting, I feel you can join any of the roles. I mean, it won't matter because अभी मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग करोगे, फिर एमबीए करोगे, फिर उसके बाद आपको वापस मैनेजमेंट कंसल्टिंग ही करना है. So I mean, does not make a difference.
Also, do consider the money factor. MBA these days is not cheap. So, are you getting appropriate return of investment. 2 years you've been working at specific amount of salary, then you spend about 20 lakhs. So is there an increment to that extent? So do factor in that. It doesn't seem, very okay right now, but eventually you'll realize the money pocket se jata hai ki, was this worth it also or not?
And especially because Purva mentioned the money aspect, there'll also be an opportunity cost involved where you have been working for a year, you have been
2
earning
years.
X amount of rupees
Foregoing
or 2
salary.
years. So you are foregoing your salary for that. And usually if you opt for either management consulting or management trainee roles, they are good paying roles. So you will be foregoing that salary, paying your MBA fees. So you have to think about a lot of different factors. It should not be based on a single factor.
So
Also,
what I
maybe if you
will
have worked for
suggest,
2 years, let's say during that MBA phase in that particular organization, you would also have gotten a promotion. So, that also you need to see.
so what I can suggest right now is whoever is planning to pursue MBA after this, to get in touch with a person who has done CA plus MBA and get his perspective on what made him do that or what was he exactly looking for. So that will give you a better answer of what decision you need to take ahead.
All right. Parth, we'll be having a management consulting session also, right?
It is done actually. It has been done already, to what I understand.
Management consultancy is done.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So maybe they can connect offline. Moving on. I think we've answered all the questions which have been put on chat. So any further questions from any of the participants? If you want me to unmute you, you can just raise your hand and I would unmute you.
There is a question from Piyush asking, what do the interviewers look for in a management trainee prospect? So I guess we have already answered that. If we are going to post this video maybe over social media, then he might have a look at it.
Somebody's asking about the package range.
We are not going to answer that, please.
Yeah.
It will depend, I mean, on the organization to organization. It is difficult to
Yes.
put a number. Kya hoga?
You can't put a number, but it is, if I had to tell you something, it is better than an average salary what a CA gets. Just giving you information. We can't give any additional takes on that.
Also, for the same role, rankers will get a more salary than the people who have cleared in multiple attempts. It's very subjective. Can't have a straight answer.
Right. Yeah. Any further questions from any of the participants? Otherwise, we can end the session. Probably just wait for a minute or two. So if anyone raises their hand, we can unmute them and we can ask their question. Okay, so I think there are no further questions. I
There's
think all
one
the
question from Urvi.
Yeah. Can you mention certain companies which hire CA freshers in FMCG companies? Anyone can take that up?
There are so many companies, I believe. Aditya Birla, Marico,
HUL.
Purva, you're on mute.
Britannia.
Every company does.
Ask them.
Yeah, so we have Marico, we have HUL, we have Colgate, we have Mondelez, we have Britannia. There are a lot of FMCG companies which take up. ITC.
Yeah, ITC.
ITC is mainly
there
mostly
are
for
multiple.
internal audit roles they take. ITC.
So, but you see, look at
that's-
ITC. We'll connect later.
Yeah, so I
I
think
think
it would
most of
highly depend
FMCG
on what
companies
opportunity
do.
is available.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Also,
So
even if you don't
so I
get it
think-
through campus or LinkedIn or any other way, you can get it from their websites. You can always apply through a company's website. So that's also a good source we missed on.
All right. So yeah, so looks like I think campus placements or LinkedIn or websites or any other references of the job posting. So I think it would depend upon the opportunities available in different companies. So I don't think there would be a general answer to which companies hire. So I think we've answered all the questions that were put on chat, and I think there are no further questions. Any of the other panelists would like to add on anything? Any closing remarks? All right. I think all questions have been answered. It's been a
Yeah.
very yeah, Harshit.
They can connect with any of us. Maybe if this
Mhm.
forum is big enough for them to, I mean, not be able to ask a few questions, they can always connect with us offline, and we can sort of answer their questions. Also, we have I mean, Vision CA has this interview preparation program which they run, so maybe you can also enroll for that and get yourself a mock interview or a mock group discussion, and maybe we can groom you better post that.
Yeah, and get a personal evaluation for that. Okay.
So, just to conclude this specific management trainee role, if you've not figured out completely what you need to do ahead, this is a good way or a good, role for, because you are going through a lot of experiences which will eventually help you decide and also keep your options open, at least for initial 1 or 2 years. So that's good. Another thing, as Harshit said, you can contact any of us. We would love to help either through Varshini or through Parth. You can get in touch. And yes, thank you so much for this platform. We were able to share our insights. And in case of any help, you can reach us.
Yeah. Thank you so much to all the panelists. And I think the bootcamp is going to be a great experience for everybody, all CA freshers looking forward, because I think that would be a lot more, personalized experience on, what tips are required, what skills need to be developed, etc. So thank you all the panelists for joining in, taking out time out of their busy schedules to answer all the questions put forward by the participants. So thank you so much, and hope all the participants also had like a very enriching experience, learned about what management trainees do, how the profile works, and how you get into this this really good learning experience that goes on for 2 years across various departments. So thank you all for joining. Hope you all have a great day, and yeah, take care, stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Varshini, for being such a wonderful host.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Parth. Thank you.
Thanks.